Hello, hello, hello. As this year draws to a close, I wanted to take a moment to share some reflections with you, as I do every year. And my prayer is that these words resonate with your heart and they inspire you as we prepare to step into a new year filled with promise and purpose. This year was a reminder for me that life is made of seasons, some that are filled with joy and victory, and others that are filled with pain and transition. And one of the hardest lessons that I had to embrace and remind myself of was that seasons change, and not all of them are meant to last forever. I've experienced the redirecting and repositioning of relationships and some chapters that I once thought would remain open indefinitely. And initially, I grieved those changes deeply, but as I reflected, I began to see the sacredness in those moments and within those seasons. The blessings, the lessons, and even the trials were gifts in disguise, shaping me in ways that I never imagined and didn't expect. But through it all, I've learned to cherish the blessings of every season, even the hard ones, and to hold those lessons close as I extend grace not only to others, but myself, because sometimes, let's face it, we can be our own harshest critics. But God calls us to see ourselves as He does, through the lens of love. I was reminded this year that growth is not comfortable. And if I'm honest, it often hurts, but growth is necessary. And it's how we move from faith to faith and glory to glory. And this year, God has definitely stretched me in ways that I felt were impossible at times. And He brought me face to face with some things that I needed to address, some things that I've been blindsided to, and even some things that I thought were once resolved. One of the most transformative moments came during the Make Room conference when I felt God whisper to me, "You're not just a speaker, you're a sent vessel." And that truth shook me because it required me to see myself differently through the lens that He saw me. It required me to let go of the need to perform and just to allow God to continue to speak through me. And that's what growth is all about, because it's not always easy, but it's always necessary. And one of the most significant lessons I learned this year was the importance of rest. For so many years, I glorified being productive and going forward and pushing through, thinking that that would be more productive, but that led to burnout. This year, God told me that my worth is not determined by how much I'm able to push through. He taught me to prioritize rest, not just sleep, but intentional rest for my mind, body, soul, and spirit. Taking care of my physical health became a form of worship and stewardship. And whether it was prioritizing daily times of reflection or eating well or even learning to say no to protect my peace, I saw how interconnected and was reminded how interconnected our physical, mental, and spiritual health are. And when we neglect one area, others will suffer. But when we nurture them, we find strength and clarity to continue to keep moving forward. So some of my wins for 2024, it was beyond anything that I've ever imagined. I've surpassed my goal of 36 speaking engagements, completing 53. God gave me the boldness, the confidence, and the grace to deliver His messages in ways that have deeply impacted the lives of those that they've touched. And another huge milestone, God allowed me to publish 5 books: The Journey to Abundance, The Resilient Heart, 7 Ways to Reclaim Your Strength After Trauma, and its companion workbook, Don't Allow Your Past to Define You, Yielded, Overcoming, and Undefeated, and The Cry of the Intercessor, Groaning and Travailing to Birth Divine Breakthrough. And you know what? This is just the beginning, because there's so much more to come in 2025. I've stepped deeper into my obedience and answered the call that my Abba has placed upon my life. I've dedicated intentional time to understanding further and deeply the call and His will and His anointing to fulfill the purpose. This journey has been a journey of surrender, and it's been transformational, and I'm grateful for His faithfulness in leading me every step of the way. I've made some significant strides in holistic wellness and emotional healing because it's continuing to align my body, my spirit, and my emotions with God's will. This included working on familial and emotional connections that needed mending or nurturing or realignment. The process has been challenging at times, but it's also so rewarding. And I was reminded of this critical truth. Not every good decision is a God decision. I learned to pause, to pray, and to heed his counsel over my own emotions or inclinations. And there is such protection and provision, even when it doesn't make sense in the moment. I've also learned the importance and was reminded of the importance of prioritizing holistic wellness, not just for myself, but also for those that I'm called to serve. Because the healthier we are, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, the more effective we are and that we can be as we continue to walk out our purpose. And this year has showed me the value of mentorship and collaboration. Expanding these areas not only blessed me, but it's also allowed me to pour into others in ways that further God's kingdom. Overall, this year I was reminded to lead with love, even when it's hard. And not everyone will understand your journey, and that is okay. Because it taught me that not everyone is meant to walk your path or even comprehend it. Because he uses the foolish things to confound the wise, as he states in 1 Corinthians 1:27. And when I look back at this year, I see both the triumphs and the trials, the successes and the losses. And each moment, whether joyous or painful, was a refining fire. And it held a mirror to my soul, revealing areas that I needed to surrender completely to him. And through it all, I've learned to love the reflection staring back at me, flaws and all. God has continued to answer my prayer to reduce me to love. And this means letting go of offenses, releasing hurt, and forgiving freely. So if you've harmed or hurt me, it's forgiven. If you've maligned my name, it's forgiven. If you've judged me, it's forgiven. I release it all in love because I know healing and deliverance are not one-time events. They're a lifestyle, and it comes in layers. And as we grow, God reveals more and more that needs transformation. I am committed to loving, growing, and evolving into the woman God has called me to be. And I encourage you to do the same. Pursue what makes your heart sing and the purpose that God has placed within you. Discover it, nurture it, and dominate in it until his return. This year has shown me the incredible power of obedience, trust, and divine revelation. Even amidst challenges, God has been faithful to continue to elevate, sustain, and refine me. And as 2025 approaches, my prayer is for continued alignment with his will and for an even deeper impact in the lives of those that he's called me to serve. I'd love to hear about your wins and the vision God has placed on your heart for the year ahead. Let's celebrate together what he's done in your life and share the ways we can continue to lift up one another. As we prepare for this new season, I leave you with this. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. May we enter 2025 grounded in his purpose, rooted in his love, and ready to walk boldly in the steps that he's ordered for us. With all my heart, I send you love, peace, joy, and blessings. This is your girl, Coach Michelle, aka Michelle Speaks with a Z. If you hide it, you can't heal it.